In November '96, 14 young Asian managers landed at Brussels airport. They were the first to join a new exchange program launched by the European Commission. An exchange program that looks for a long-lasting bond between Europe and Southeast Asia, one of the fastest-growing regions in the world. It's called the JEM Program, the Junior EU-ASEAN Managers Exchange Program. Built upon the experience of similar programs in the past, the JEM program will exchange 1,000 young managers over a period of 3 years from both the EU and the ASEAN countries. During a business training lasting 9 months, they'll be incorporated in leading companies and will acquire the skills and knowledge to become the faces of this much-needed link between Europe and Asia. At a press conference in Bangkok, the JEM representatives met the Thai candidates before their departure for Europe. Suruwat Kanokantapong is one of the first Thai managers to join the JEM program.
As soon as I heard about the JEM program, I think it's very, very interesting. And I think that I would enhance my qualification in the future if I would like to find a new job to do or work for an international company. So I decided to join the JEM program.
Just a few days later, she and the other JEM managers were introduced to Mr. Manuel Marin, the Vice President of the European Commission. Vice President Marin is responsible for the external relations with the southern Mediterranean countries, the Middle East, Latin America and Asia. That same evening, the JEM program opened officially in Brussels. This event took place in the headquarters of the EC, in the presence of high-ranking EC officials and VIPs from leading European companies. Here, Vice President Marin pointed out that
these young managers will one day be part of the elite in their countries, and they will know Europe well. The JEM program will enable them to set up international joint venture and business deals with Europe because they will know the people, the companies, and the way business is done. It is a universal and natural tendency to prefer doing business with people you know. This is what this program is about, creating networks.
I knew that this program is important, but when I see how everything is organized at the highest level and what people from Europe and ASEAN expect from us, I'm really excited to get started.
all these candidates are selected for their high level of working experience and strong personality.
I'm Tracy Chui from Malaysia. Before coming over here, I was the manager special projects in Aeon Bank.
My name is Liel Gonzalez and I'm from the Philippines. When I was in the Philippines, I was working for Citibank with the cards marketing department.
I'm come from Thailand. My name is Surat Kanokantapong. I used to work for CP 7-Eleven in Thailand as a Deputy Division Manager for merchandising.
My name is Chang Tun Hao. Before I joined the JEM program, I was the marketing manager for the data prep company in Malaysia.
However, they were also selected on their eagerness to get to know Europe. Understanding Europe and its business starts with understanding its culture. The program started with an introduction to the European business and political life. Highly renowned economists and EC officials explained in just 1 week the basics of European society. The first group received its introduction in Maastricht, the city known for the famous treaty on the unification of Europe. In Maastricht, this first group also had their first lessons in the Dutch language because they would be incorporated in leading Dutch companies. Living in Europe and working with Europeans is a lot easier when you understand their language.
At first I thought to myself, why do we need these language courses? But now I realize that doing business is much more than just communicating in English. Once you have knowledge of the language, the ice is already broken. Doing business after that is much easier.
During their stay, The young managers participate actively in the management of Europe's leading companies. Who needs an introduction to Heineken? Surat from Thailand and her Vietnamese colleague Tran Tien surely didn't.
Here is the office that I'm working for. I was very happy when I was told by Heineken people that I was accepted to work with them. I work here for a couple of weeks. The thing is very interesting. I work on the project. It's called Consumer Response Study. To a certain extent, I can share or exchange my previous experience with people in Heineken, Netherlands.
Royal Ahold is the biggest retail company of the Netherlands, with operations in the United States and Asia employing 185,000 people. Tracy, Chang and 5 other Asian managers will work 6 months in its management department.
The way the Europeans have organized their distribution is very different from what we know. When I learn more about the techniques, I'm sure the knowledge will help me in my career in Malaysia.
It's a very important program for Ahold. We have start-up operations in Asia, and the talent of these people who are now here in Europe can be used in a very important way. Our human resource people are excited, and implementation of this program will help us and our Asian partners a lot.
The third company to host and train executives is Douwe Egberts, the leading brand of Sara Lee, which has a turnover of $6 billion. The participating companies contribute to the costs of the program and invest valuable time in training the young executives. Why?
We are convinced that a strong combination of theory and practice will turn them into better managers, thus becoming a very valuable asset for our operations in Asia. And that's exactly what we are looking for in Heineken.
Two of the young managers of this first group work in the UK at the headquarters of Sara Lee near London.
I'm training in Sara Lee Household and Personal Care with the marketing department. And despite 4.5 years of marketing experience in the Philippines, I find that I'm learning all over again because the Philippine market is just so much different from the English market. I stayed 1 month in the Netherlands and I thought I knew about Europe. But now that I'm working here in the UK, I realize that Europe is more than just one region. Getting to know the differences between the countries is making my visit even more worthwhile. My staying here is broadening my mind more and more each day.
Understanding each other requires a good understanding of each other's general and business culture.
Excellent marketing for us means that we adapt all products and all marketing techniques to local consumer needs, to local trade needs. Asia being one of our key areas for growth, key areas of opportunity, means that we need Asian managers to help us make that translation.
Living in Europe is an invaluable element in understanding European culture. Even more so, living by myself is something I would not have done if I was back home. Now I'm learning to do things for myself, by myself, in a totally different environment. And this is one of the key differences between Asian and European culture.
To become acquainted with European business culture, the young managers also get the opportunity to live with local families.
Every day I'm surprised at how life can be different in thousands of small details. But now I know that these details form the basic of the difference between them and us.
I was very excited when I first heard about the JEM program. Of course, I had my doubts. Leaving my family, my job and my friends for such a long time is not easy. But now I know I've made the right choice. The experience I will gain from the JEM program will make me a better manager.
Because life isn't just all work, the program has foreseen enough spare time for the young managers to participate actively in European social life, for which they receive an allowance.
When I just arrived here, I was surprised how expensive life is in Europe. But thanks for the allowance, I don't need to remit myself. I can go out with friends to cinema, to visit some cafe. And also I agree with my friends from JEM Program to go to London and Paris for some weekends.
The JEM program will exchange young executives in a total of 50 groups such as this one. Each group has its own focus on a specific industry. The different groups will spend their internship in different countries in Europe and the ASEAN organization. European high-tech companies are also opening their doors to accommodate the young Asian managers. Young Asian engineers will have the opportunity to qualify in the field of aircraft, space systems and civil systems, as well as propulsion systems. JEM is a two-way program. Young European executives selected for their working experience and personality will go to the ASEAN countries with the same eagerness to learn about Asia as their Asian counterparts have for Europe and its business culture. Linking up Europe and Asia in the future is a great deal about creating networks. Networks have personal contacts that last and build bridges. The young managers will become the nucleus of a strong link between Europe and Asia. This is why the JEM program puts a special emphasis on introducing them to political and business leaders. The JEM program doesn't stop after the 9 months training. Each group will be part of an alumni organization, where senior European and ASEAN business and political leaders are the honorary presidents. The young managers will be integrated in bridge-building networks that will give the EU countries and the ASEAN countries their much-needed link over the next decennium. The JEM program doesn't only have strong support in Europe. Even the Singapore Prime Minister pointed out that
the objective of JEM is to provide opportunities for young professionals in ASEAN to receive training attachments or work placements by companies in Europe and vice versa. This program deserves strong support from the private sector as it will increase the pool of future managers who will be comfortable operating in each other's regions.
I have a very strong impression that after my stay in Europe is over, there will be a place for me in the branch of Heineken in Thailand.
The nice thing is that they seem as eager to know us as we are to know them. I mean, we are not just learning from them, they are learning from us as well.
What surprises me the most is the productivity at work. Here, they make decisions very quickly and act within a very short period.
You can read as many books about Europe as you like, but nothing equals an intensive stay. Thanks to the JEM program, we are immersed in the European business and social culture, and that is a lifetime experience.